Hello again. So today I thought I would make a July checkup video because I don't think I've made a monthly checkup video in several months. But it's late, or it's a little after 5, so the sun's on the other side of the house, so everything out here should look good, except this is still in full sun. But these are my imbricatas. They're doing really good. And I do cover them with the screen. It's off today because this week, yesterday I think it was like 76. Those are the little barrel cactuses that I moved. I keep them here because they're in the shade in the afternoon. It was like 76 yesterday. I think it was 82 today. We've got a few more days in the mid 80s and a little traffic, and then it's going to go back up into the low 90s for another 4 or 5 days, and then it's going to heat back up. So it is July, what is it? July 23rd. So today is Wednesday, and my gardeners came today, so the grass looks nice. I do have a spot over there where I need to replace that sprinkler. I finally figured out why the grass was dying, because the sprinkler, the little clip that tells it to stop and go back, is broken, and it's just been watering that agapantha right behind it, which actually looks pretty amazing right now with the blue flowers. But yeah, so this is the lavender lady that I put in here, and this is doing amazing. Look at how much new growth in there. It's really taken off. This is the, which one is this? I'm trying to look. Is that the wrong tag for it? This was the Mangave. Which one is it? Bad Hair Day. I should remember that. And it's doing really good. Lots of new growth. This here, the Americana. So I'm pretty excited about this one. You saw in a previous video, it did have 2 new buds, and this one's opening. So this will be open tonight. A little piece of grass on here. I don't really want to touch it. So I'll come out later tonight and try to get a picture of that. I don't think, no, there's no fragrance to them, but they have such huge blooms. I mean, look at that with my hand in the back. They're massive. These are all doing really good. And then let's go over here and we'll check out my little garden of death where I put those cuttings to see. Don't pay attention to the mess back here. So these were the aeoniums I just stuck in there. Ooh, it's actually got a little resistance. They may have started to root a little bit. They go dormant in the summer, so I didn't think they'd do anything. This little thing, these were my superbums. I wanted to see if any more popped up. There's a couple on here, right there and there. We'll see what happens with that. But that's all that's over here other than the mess. Now, these are all starting to go dormant, and they're looking pretty ratty, and they got a lot of mealybugs. I do give them a little water. I have this Crassula undulata here, so I do have to water that. Thought somebody was going to pull into my driveway. My dragon fruit are going crazy. These were the cuttings I got last year. I never put them in the actual barrel. They're just still sitting in their pots. They may have rooted through the pot into the barrel. I don't know. I got a little pot full of sedums back here. There is one in the ground still. My rat tail cactus, I moved it over here, so it gets in the shade pretty early, by like noon at the latest. So it's doing a lot better. It looks a lot better. It was pretty stressed. And you can see a few of these little pieces kind of shriveled up. More dragon fruit on this side, looking good. Growing all over. I thought I had a bloom on one of these, and I was really excited. And then I came back like the next day, and I think I was just going to make a short out of it, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know, maybe I imagined it, or maybe it was just, you know, a bud from a new leaf starting. I don't know, because I never could find it, so I guess there's not one. But these were all mature cuttings off of their plant, so I wouldn't be surprised if they budded, but they haven't. Okay, we'll start on this end. And prepare yourself to be a little bit shocked and disappointed with me. I've been very neglectful. So I've been filling this with water every couple of days. But it looks like I'm getting some mealybug in this one, and it didn't have any. Can you focus here? I don't know why it's so bright. That's weird. Can you tone down the exposure? There we go. Yeah, there you go. So now you can kind of see those. They're okay. They did get a little burned, but they get in the shade pretty early, and they're just sitting here. So back in here is where everything's such a mess. This Pilocereus azureus is still doing good. The two pups that were at the base died a couple of years ago, and I've never pulled them out. I do need to take that bit of portulacaria out of there. Maybe clean these up, pull them out, reset them. I don't know. But these two were the pieces I cut off and just stuck them in that pot from the plant that I got from a guy I know at a, I don't know what you call it, a hydroponic store, I guess. And he has all these cactus in there. And so he sold me this one really cheap, and I cut the tops off both of it, and I'll show you the bottoms. And if you follow along from my other videos, you'll remember the bottom pieces. This pot's doing good. I haven't done anything with it yet. I do need to, but I moved it farther back into the shade here. And so the plants look good, and I've been watering stuff. There's some things in here needs to be cleaned up. I need to add some more stuff to fill that in and maybe take out that crassula, but I have been keeping that one covered. Some sempervivums around here. They get a lot of shade over here in the afternoon, so there's not much color on them. Here's the bad thing. So these were all the Plantaseca cactus I got. This was the first batch, and I can see a lot of them did not survive. I'm not really sure why, because by about 11 o'clock, this little table's in the shade. I think I have not been watering enough. Now, some of them are doing really good still, you know, but some of them have died. I think that one's dead. This one's kind of stressed. I think that one's dead, mostly dead. This one's doing really well. These ones, this one looks like it's sinking down into its soil, which they will do to protect themselves. That Gasteria, that needs to be, I don't know why that's so, maybe I'm just not watering it enough. That should be green because it gets a lot of shade. The Cactus Straussii, this was the one I really chopped up and just stuck the trunk in there. And then it sprouted all these new pieces. So, and look at all the clover. I quit watering everything, so all that clover died. Or not clover for, you know, you people out there that like to correct me when I call something clover that's not clover. My Medusa's head is, I've been watering more, starting to do good. It did flower. And then I had this other euphorbia over here that looks really good, a little pineapple thing. I don't know what it's called. So down in here, I need to get rid of that. Oh, you know what? It looks like it's finally starting to grow. It's got some new little tiny pads, but I don't need that. It's just a really common one. My amic, my variegated amic is doing good. It did have a lot of, I'm not sure if it's rot, or burn, but, you know, I don't know. It could have been cold damage. So a lot of stuff in here is just shriveled because we had some really, really hot weather. And, you know, I hadn't been watering anything. But you know what? I always, oops, I left my gloves there. I always watered, even in the heat of summer, at least once a week. And I haven't been watering as much as I used to. But I'm going to go back to the way I used to water because my plants never were so stressed. Now, I didn't have all the succulents. I had mostly, you know, cactus out here. But, you know, you can see how fried some of this stuff has gotten. But it was over 100 degrees for a few days. I will have to say that this year has been very mild. June was not bad. We had a couple days over 100, but then we had a lot of days in the low 90s, even upper 80s, which we've had this week, surprisingly. But I think this is because I haven't been watering. And it looks like that one's toast. So these are the ones I got from Anna from Cactus Caffeine. And they're all doing really good except for that one. I have a couple more somewhere. I don't know where they are. Oh, I think they're over there. This was the one tall piece, but it put out all these little pups. And then this piece has been falling over, but I think it's because I haven't been watering it, and it just got really, weak. My yucca. Yeah, I might pull that one. I do have a big yucca, the same kind, in a barrel. We'll see that in a little bit. And that was a little piece I stuck in there, but I don't need to keep that little piece. It just struggles in that pot. I just never water it. A few more cactus over here. Yeah, this was the pina colada that I got from Anna. Look at the spines on that thing. Whew. But they're nice and fat, so I know they're drinking when I do water. I was pulling weeds out here, so I have all this stuff pulled out and moved around. I'm getting really bad. Look at that. Let's put this back over here, or I'll never know where I left it. Okay, hold on. We're going for a wild ride. I have down in here, look at my blue glow, so beautiful. I do have some slugs. I need to put some, look at that, snails or slugs eating on it. So I need to put some snail or slug bait. I have some that's a really small pellet so the dogs can't get to it. It just disappears down in there. But yeah, I've been working on this clover today, or whatever that stuff is, sorrel, whatever, I don't know. But all this stuff is just so fried. Even those ones, which are usually really pretty. In the fall, those will come back and be a beautiful pink and blue. So this dickia has just seeded itself everywhere. I should pull a bunch of those out. And it looks horrible because I hadn't been watering. So now this aloe cameronii, I think I'm going to pull the whole thing out, see if I can save those two main pieces and reset them, trim off all the tips, and see how that does. Oh, one thing I wanted to, because I haven't been watering and everything's been pretty stressed. Oh, pick that up. Look at the color on this thing. I do still need to trim a bunch of it off. It's getting way too big. But can you believe that color? That is gorgeous. So this Perry, I noticed a while back, I don't know if I filmed it, but it has another little pup right here that I'm going to give it a little more time, then I'm going to pull that out of there. This one's cutting so big. It grew so fast. I need to get it off of there. The one in the pot was starting to close up the other day, but then I've soaked it a couple times, so it's opening back up. Okay. Back in here is a hot mess. And I mean mess. I have been cutting a lot of ghosties out of here to put in my pots when I'm redoing my pots. Sorry, I have one fly, and I'm just sweating like a racehorse. We just finished feeding all the animals, and then I thought, oh, now's a good time. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's cool out front, but I'm still hot from feeding, and this one fly just keeps landing on my arm. It's driving me crazy. My purple people eater. Whew, look at that. Mangavi. So I need to pull this out, take a bunch of those pups off, and reset that big main one, because it looks like it's starting to tip back. Yeah, I think I'll do that. My Sahara, Echeveria Sahara, is doing really good. Looks good. It's bloomed again. But look down in here. See, I really need to thin this out. I need to get all that clover out of there. I'm sorry, that not clover out of there. I think I'm going to cut this flapjack thing back. The Fred Ives look great. I have another stand of them over here. And they seem to take our heat and our full sun, although these do get in the shade. Look at the size of this one here. But yeah, these are doing really good. I think I started with one or two down in there, and same with over there. I think I put one. But then all this stuff is just covering. This dickia has gotten absolutely massive. I should pull that out and see if I can separate those, because I've got, there's like 1, 2, like 3 or 4 main large plants, and then tons of little pups around this one. So I was going to cut these off because I've been cutting all the spent bloom stalks off the plants. But every day I see hummingbirds on here, and there's still a lot more to open. So I'm going to leave it and let them have at it for a little bit longer. My shelf needs a complete makeover. I've got these guys up here that are, let me come over here. Look at all the detritus. I need to clean all this out because I pulled that huge chunk of aeoniums out of here. And these are all the leaves that they've lost. This whole thing needs to come out. Look at the roots hanging off of there. Those are just air roots. Some of the plants up here are doing good. Some of them, a lot of these little gymnos, yeah, they just haven't been getting water. The fat cactuses are fine. This one's been dying for the last couple years, so I think I'm going to pull that down as soon as I can get to it. I got to deal with this Starry Night aloe. I'm going to pull that down, pull everything out, and put a nice cactus back in there. I missed the first two blooms. I'm pretty sure they're red on this big gymno. These are the two that I redid. Got all the weeds and stuff out. This one I don't think has bloomed, the fishhook one. That's the red fire barrel. And I think this is the same thing. Fire barrel cactus. I have a little one like it. I might even have one in the ground over there. But there's one more bloom that's going to open. So I went backpacking with Katie for a few days, and it opened, and I missed it. But that's okay. This little guy's doing good. I do need to pull it out and redo it. This is just a little agave. I don't think it even had an ID, but it looks like it's got some fungus or something going on there. But the new growth is looking better. And then down in here, I have another old man of the Andes in my hippo planter that needs to come out when I can get to it. Look at this dickia, is all overgrown. And I'm starting to see my barrel cactus because a lot of this stuff is going dormant. And look at my nice barrel cactus in there. So I need to get rid of a bunch of this portulacaria and expose that, and then probably put some shade screen over it. My millii, look at that, is looking great. Those flowers have been on there forever. They're starting to fade, but they've been on there for a long time. So the Cameronii in here, it's doing okay. It's pretty red. This little stand here looks good. I love it. I need to cut off all those spent blooms. And then these ones back in here, I'm not sure what those are. And then here, so my two bowls, I meant to pull these screens off before I did this so you could see everything, but I forgot. I can just throw those on the ground. So these are the bowls I redid. Now this one gets in the sun about an hour or so longer, and it always looks a little bit more dried out, especially all these little guys, and more stressed. This one's sending up a nice bloom. I should cut that off so it doesn't stress the plant so much. And then look at the difference. Look at how nice this one looks. Still nice and fresh. This little Echeveria Sahara is sending up a bloom. This aloe sent up another bloom. The Fred Ives looks good. Yeah, this one looks 100% better than the other one does. It's so funny. And they're only a few feet apart. Look at that. And I do have a piece of shade screen on this every day. Back in here, oh, my little shade screen. You know what? Somebody is in here knocking plants out of here because I bet you, you know what? The guys, I bet they did that when they blew today. They come in with their blower, and I've asked them not to come back in here, but they do it anyway. I don't know how much you can see. I usually just keep that covered because those were all cuttings, and I did it right when it was really hot. This one's looking great. I keep it covered every day. I have put a splash of water on it, not too much because I don't know. Some of these have roots, but some of them were cuttings, and I don't know how well they've rooted yet. So I do still keep that covered. Same thing with this one. Looks great. Look at that. Just beautiful. Everything looks really good. Cover that up. It's going to be a little warmer tomorrow than it is today. So I definitely want to make sure I cover everything back up. So up here, I really need two hands to do this. This is a big, I'll throw this one down. I can come back and pick it up. Look at the breeze is coming up. It's starting to blow everything around. Try not to move too fast. So this stuff is doing okay. A lot of these I chopped. My little palms are doing good. These are the lovely rose. This is what I did with them. I stuck them in here as cuttings. And as you can see, they're developing some roots. So I will start watering that a little heavier now. Yeah, this stuff is all, looks okay. I think everything's needing more water. I think I need to start not worrying about how hot it is and still just give it a couple waters a couple times a week, you know, maybe early in the morning. So I was really worried about my Navajo Princess because it just went limp. But look, it's got lots of nice new healthy growth. So it's getting established. I do still keep it covered. These guys look good. Oh, bloom stalk on that dickey. I guess I could cut that off. These little cactus look good, except for the ones that died, of course. This one, oh, just stunning. Look at the purple on those Pearl von Nurembergs. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Amazing, beautiful. And it actually looks like it's showing up the color that I'm seeing. I actually can see on the camera. So this stuff is doing really good. Oh, look at all these. I didn't even notice this. They're all leafing out. I moved it a little farther back here. So maybe it's a little happier and it's starting to leaf out and get some blooms on it. Nice. Here, oh, my Japanese maple, my red dragon looks great. Oh. Look at all the blooms on my monkey tail cactus. So here is the agave attenuata, ray of light. I have splashed a little bit of water in here. Those two still had roots. This one was a cutting, but it looks like it's doing okay. It's got new growth. Look at that. Yeah, I think they're going to be happy here. Whoa, just snagged myself on this guy. Still have to, you know, the jury's still out on that one. I'll have to wait and see how that one's going to do. So these pots I didn't do anything with, but I do need to touch them up, I think. So over on the porch, we've got a hot mess going on here. Look at that. I still haven't done anything with this, but I will eventually. I think I might need some fertilizer or maybe just more water on the penis cactus. That one definitely needs water. It's really shriveled. Look at that. Can you see how this one, middle one there, is really sucked up? I hope it's not dying. I'll give it some good drink in the morning. I'll go around and water everything. I have one string of pearls left. That survived me not watering them forever. Look at that. I think these ones are pretty much toast, but all these little guys are doing good. But I'm really excited about all the blooms on here. A couple of them have already opened, but now I got a lot of new ones growing on here. Not sure what it looks like up in there. Oh, got some new growth. Cool. These are the little palms. I need to cut these bottom fronds off. Seems to be doing okay. They haven't died yet, so. The Sansevieria is looking really good that I stuck over here, these last few little pieces. So I think they're happy in here. And then all these little guys that need to go into bigger pots. My oxalis, this is a purple shamrock. Loves it up here on the porch. It's still in its plastic little pot that somebody gave it to me in. And I see I'm missing, I bet the guys blew it off today. I have been keeping my barrel cactus covered, both of them. So this is a blue barrel cactus. It did bloom, but I think it was having a hard time in the sun, so I moved it back and I do keep it covered now. And this was one of the regular golden barrels that I dug up out of the ground. This little one is blooming. Okay, where's the, there we go. It's still hard to, it does not want to, I don't know. It's really pretty yellow though. Haven't done anything with this one yet, but I still need to cut that and reset it. The flowers in here. Starting to get a little tired. There's a whole bunch of new ones that have seeded themselves in here though, all down in there. But yeah, I don't know, the salvia The daisies are pretty, whatever those are. But look at all the clover. Look at the size. I don't know if you can put my hand next to it. Look at the size of these things. They're huge. Okay, so here is a rum runner, agave. It's doing really good. This is my favorite Echeveria Sahara. This is the one that had the big mama that bloomed out right there. And I just left it, and all the pups just kind of filled in the space, so you can't even tell. But look at how big these were all pups off the original plant. So it's looking really good. This Stickia looks amazing. Yeah, it gets shade pretty early. I still need to add some stuff to here. The bottom ones look really good down in there. I just need to fill it in a little more. And then look at this. Holy cow, this is all growing into the ground. It's rooted itself. That was a string of tears, string of something. This aloe has sent out tons of pups all the way around it. So here's the big cactus that I originally cut the two tops off. But look at that, this is massive. And the one over in the front on the side is the one that broke off from there and fell over, and then it got two more pups. And I think what I'm going to do is get a boulder. I'm going to pull this aloe out, pull all those pups off, tuck a boulder up under there to let this thing rest on, and then hopefully it'll just grow straight up and can just stay there. But you can see it's just pulling right out of the ground. Look at that. And I see I got more poppies growing. Little Millie eye in a pot, seems happy. So I finally cut the bloom stalk off of this silver fox, and I left the main plant. That was the mama plant there, so it's a little straggly looking, but you know, you can't even tell because you look at it from here. So I'm not going to mess with it. But I did get all those tiny little pups off of the bloom stalk, and I did put them in a bowl with some damp soil, and we'll see if they root. A few little guys on here doing okay. That Pringly eye looks great. And that's a really heavy pot, so that should be able to stay in there forever. My pig looks good. They've shriveled a little bit. I expected them to because those were all cuttings. I can probably start putting a little water on that. Another Echeveria Sahara looks great. Tons of new. It's funny because the first flush of blooms were just completely infested with aphids on all of the plants. And all the ones now that are coming up look really good. So my Hesper aloe, looks like there's actually two separate plants. Oh, you know what? There's like 3 separate plants in here. Now that I'm looking down in here, maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. I need to find a spot for that because it's never really happy here. It does have new growth coming in. Okay. This bloomed like crazy, my little rainbow hedgehog. And then this is the one that was covered by that stuff with the purple flowers. And look at all the new growth down in there. So I do still keep it covered up. My Quiche Con, lots of pups. And then here's the other one of these, because he gave me 2 of these cactus, and I cut the tips off of both of them. Planted the 2 tops in the pot, and then stuck the 2 bottoms in the ground, and then they've just sent off all these new pieces. Another big stand of Echeveria Sahara. I really need to get in there and clean all those dead leaves out of there. And then there's another Echeveria, but I don't remember the variety. It's more green where the Sahara is more blue. And then this is the Hectia. Feels pretty solid in there now, that I took off of the one in the back, and it's doing really good. I finally propped it up in there with some rocks because it kept getting knocked out of there, and so I think it's rooted itself finally. A little Mexican fence post cactus doing good. So here is the sea dragon. Yeah, jury's still out on this one too, but it did send up a bloom. It might have already had that, I can't remember. But look at one more bloom on this little aloe blue elf, which has really gotten to be a chunky stand. And then all this cute little stuff in here. It's doing good. That Millie eye is really growing back, or the Portulacaria. So this stand of Aloe Cameronia looks really good. So I may take, if that other one over there doesn't look good, I may take it out and replace it with a nice piece from this one. Maybe I'll cut a piece off the back. So we'll see. But out here, I've moved a lot of the pots I had sitting in here that were just way too crowded. I need to add a lot more top dressing. I've moved them over there just to get them out of the way so I could see my plants again. Got all these echeverias just all blooming like crazy. They just take off twice a year. So the sago palms are doing good. This one, I don't know what the deal is with that. The only thing I can think of is this one probably rooted itself down into the ground. And this one has not. Because it's weird why this one's yellow. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Over here, I still need to cut off all the spent blooms off of this aeonium back there. It's really sticky. I got a lot of the weeds out of there, but there's still a lot more. This aloe's pretty happy. I have been remembering to water it. So this little cactus, you can see how there's gravel all kicked up on my little stones because I was pulling weeds out of here a couple days ago. And I just haven't come and hosed it. So if I water tomorrow, I'll hose all that down. But this thing bloomed like crazy. I missed it because I think I was gone, but I'm pretty sure they were yellow. Because I think all the cactus that I got that were next to it were all yellow. Well, that's not lemon balm. I must have written the name on there and then it just faded. My little cholla is doing good. I can see the spiders have moved into the top. This thing's still sitting here. I need to get rid of it. It has done nothing in the last couple of years. It's just, yeah, and it's kind of ugly. This one bloomed. I got some flowers off of it. I'm thinking about moving this one over in that area down there too, because this can take full sun. It used to be in the full sun. So my tooth fairy here, mangave, I don't know, it's still got these curly edges. I don't know what's causing that, but I did see somebody I was at somebody's place and he had one, and his looked the same way. God, where was I? He had some plants, I can't remember where it was. But I remember asking him if he knew what that was, and he did. Was it at a nursery? Where did I see it? I don't remember now. This Aluaudia procera, still alive at the bottom, but I need to cut all the dead pieces off the top. And there's the shade screen, which blew off. I have been covering it. And this little millii, which I really like with the yellow flowers. I've been keeping that one covered too. Trying to keep the sun from killing everything. And look over here. The cutest piglet ever. Hello, my little house hippo. So, you can see she's naked. Her mohawk's starting to grow back in. So about, usually once, but sometimes twice a year. For sure once a year, but sometimes twice a year. These potbelly pigs will blow their coat. And she did, so she's completely naked. She usually has kind of long black hair, but her mohawk's starting to grow back in. I know, my love bug. You're so cute. Hi. Yeah, you can't come out here. You'll start rooting holes in the grass. My fruit trees are doing good. They have a pool with water. She's the only one out here now. The rest of them are out back. But she followed me back in. So this dickia has taken over. It's looking really good. It blooms like crazy. I cut you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it looks like about 7 bloom stalks off of this thing. And unfortunately, I really wasn't paying attention, and I'd left the bloom stalks on too long, and the seeds were all dried, and they fell out everywhere. So I don't know if they're going to take off, if I'm going to have little dickias popping up all over here. Spud, get away from her. Bad boy. But I'll have to keep an eye on that. I have another little dickia here. I can't remember what this one, it was called silver something. But yeah, everything needs water. So I did get some flowers off of here. It looks like I got a few more to go. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 more that should open, and then a few spent ones. And I'm hoping I get some seeds out of here, but I don't know if anything's pollinated. Okay, this is going. Look out. And I need to move this Pineapple Express. If I move that and get rid of that, I can move this over a little bit because it's really crowding. my trichocereus, and my echinopsis, which is so stressed. I wonder, am I not watering this enough? Because this was in full sun. In fact, this was in a pot in the back where it got the full afternoon sun every day and was in the shade in the morning. So it got that hot, hot afternoon sun. It looks like it's sending up some more blooms. One up here too. This thing blooms like crazy. You know what? I think I'm going to start watering it heavier, because when it was in the back, I started thinking about it. Every time I'd go out to fill the animal's water bowl right out back, I always dumped the old water in there, in the pot. So another sago palm. I hadn't been watering it, so those bottom leaves have kind of shriveled up, but I need to find somebody to take that. It needs a home. Here, this little barrel looks like it's kind of burned on this side. It gets a lot of sun right on that side as the sun goes over. I still haven't pulled that out. You going inside? That's her room right there. This agavoides, I think in the fall, is going to really come back. I have ants in here. Every time I water it, ants pour out of there. Macameronii, looking okay. I don't know if it's rooted yet. It's pretty stressed. You can see how red it is, but that's the whole point of that, is to look like that. But I don't want it to die. The filifera was looking rough. It's got a lot of pups. I see 1, 2, 3, and I know there's a fourth one on the other side. Trying to zoom back out and it didn't want to let me. This thing, it looks like this top one's bloomed out. So I need to pull this apart, and I need to find something that can take. Now on this side, those trees up there shade a little bit. What time is it? It's 5:45 now. Whoa, we've been at for over half an hour. I think it does get a little bit shade earlier. The sun kind of comes this way because it's summer. In the wintertime, the sun goes way over there, and it never really even goes behind those trees. I don't think it kind of stays low in the sky. Anyway, okay, so I've got these little perii. I still need to pull those out. It had a third one here, but this one died. Probably from lack of water, because I have not been watering anything. I'm going to start. So out here, I want to start working on this. I did come out here with my weed eater the other day, and I had sprayed all the roses, but they were growing back. So I weed eated them all down, and I'm going to spray them again, along with all the grass and everything else peeking up in this area. Here's the other yucca, and this one's doing really good. It's got a lot of new growth. Gotta be careful because they are sharp. They're not as stiff as some plants, but they can be sharp. Oh, look at all the weeds down in here. I need to pull these up. Look at that. Didn't even see those. My staghorn's doing good. It bloomed quite a few. You can see the old, whatever you call those. But there's another one there. And I tell you what, the hummingbirds and the bumblebees love those flowers. So I moved my giant praying mantis over here because it used to be right on the far side on the corner of the wagon, and I constantly was getting snagged on it every time I tried to walk through there. And I don't want to break it. Katie, my friend Katie, gave it to me. I think it was at her mom's back in North Carolina. Whoa. Another one of these. This one I think has maybe gotten more water. It's not nearly as purple, but a little bit purple. Keep getting distracted by my dogs. Look at that. What is that? I'm so excited. We'll talk about that later. Okay, down here, don't mind the boxes out here. I had my camera set on there. So that is my Dark Knight, Opuntia Dark Knight. Here's another scraggly little staghorn that I'll probably get rid of. And then here is Americana. It looks like it needs a new pot. I think it wants out of this pot. It's having some issues down in here, but the new growth looks really good. I think it's just outgrown that pot. These things grow pretty quickly, but there's that one. And I think I'm going to put it in a big terracotta pot. I have one. Okay. I did move my pig over here, And a lot of my little yard things are going to go over here. But look at this. I pulled all the plant out of here, and there's one more piece of Tradescantia in here. So I've been trying to remember to water it. And it sits out here in the full sun, and it's still alive. Yeah, so I do have got another spot where my sprinkler was. I had to adjust this one. It wasn't hitting the corner. So hopefully that'll green back up. The last rows all the way over here. So you see all these rocks? There's a lot of them. I was weed eating all around there so I could find them all that I got from a friend of mine. I'm going to be bringing those over here. So I think what I'm going to do is, get that out of there before I step on that, a rose cutting. I think I'm going to just take one section to start with, like maybe half of this, and go get a couple yards of topsoil, fill dirt, you know, whatever they have. Oh, look at the little flowers on here. You know, well, we'll talk about it in another video. Look at that. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love you so much. I'm so happy to have you. Gorgeous. Getting distracted again. Anyway, I think I'm going to do half of it. I want to mound up the dirt over where the roses were. And then I can use those boulders, which aren't real big, and I'm going to go get some bigger ones like I have over in here. Like that one. It's hard to do this. And do this section first. So then what I'm going to do is just be setting some of these potted plants over in here and not potting them in the ground. I may put that in the ground because it'll send off runners with new babies, but you can just cut them out. You know, it's easy enough. And it's an easy plant to work with because you can get in there. You know, it's not as bad as some plants. You can get under there and work with it. But obviously I will not be putting any of these opuntias in the ground. So I want to start doing that. And then I have lots of fun little garden art that I can put out in here. So I think I'm going to start with this side first, and then I'll move this row of jade rocks, and I can use those as a ribbon. Hi, Squealy Pig. I know, I hear you. What? Squealy. Hello, my love. What are you doing? Squealy bug. My little squealy bug. You're so cute. You're so cute. What are you doing? What? I know. She's waiting for her. She gets a FRUIT CUP every night. She had her bowl of grain, but she's waiting for her extra special treat. Yeah, so that's what it looks like out front. So I'm going to get busy and get back working on this. I need to spray. Maybe tomorrow I'll spray Roundup again. Please don't hate me, I know. But I need to kill all that stuff off and cover all this with dirt. And the plan is, because the weeds will come back up through the gravel, especially over here, because they're so established in the ground. And I could put cardboard down and then dirt over it and then the top dressing on top of that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, you know, as long as there's nothing planted in the ground, we can easily just go through and spray Roundup around in here if we see things start to pop up. I'll just have to be diligent, which I have not been. But Dave's been giving me a hard time about how weedy the garden's been getting and that I'm not taking care of it. I'm like, I know, you don't have to tell me. I'm the one that has to go out and catch up when it, you know, gets all overgrown. But I got a handle on it. I've been really busy this week because the weather's been so nice. So everything's looking really good. I actually weeded this section a while ago and that one. And then this one came back with a vengeance. Yeah, so, okay, so that's what the front looks like. That's what's going on out here. I think I'll just leave the covers off the plants and then I'll just put them back on in the morning. That's the one nice thing about being retired is you can just come out and do whatever you need to do, you know, when it's convenient, because you don't have to get up and go to work every day. So my coleus, the sun is just scorching them, but a lot of new growth. And then the middle one's flowered. That's kind of cool. The petunias are so pretty. Looks like we're going to get some more flowers on the impatiens here. This Tradescantia, I just had this other piece laying on the ground. I stuck it back in there. I don't know if the dogs ran by and knocked it off. It's been laying there for a couple days, but whoops, I've been kind of deadheading in here, trying to get some of this old stuff out of here. What happened to that? That wasn't even ready to come off. That might have gotten bumped. I wonder sometimes if the cats jump in here, but oh, I'm not even showing it to you. Look at how gorgeous these are, and they're so soft. They're like buttery soft. These begonias. Yeah, something happened in here. I got a lot of broken leaves, but that's okay. Look at this coleus. Now this is just a different, basically, color as that one, and I think it gets a little more shade on this side. I think that one the sun hits first. Look how much bigger this one is. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Cannot get over it. Look at all these little impatiens, how cute they are. This stuff, I still got some ghosties in there that I can harvest for other projects. Okay, so let's go look out and back. One quick thing, I don't know if you can tell, but doesn't the lawn look so pretty right after they mow? Oh, and it smells so good, because they just mowed like 2 hours ago. They came pretty late today, and it just smells so good. And it looks great. You can't tell how many weeds are out in that lawn right after they mow, but it looks good on film. In the backyard, I have this palm, which is probably off the ground. That's probably 6 feet. And then, I don't know, another 6 feet up maybe. But I've had this palm tree for so many years, and probably for, I would say about 10 years. No, 15, 20 years. 15 years. It was in a small pot sitting on the corner of the deck, which is falling apart. That was the lattice that the pigs destroyed. And I finally planted it in the ground about 12, 13, 14 years ago. Yeah. And it has just taken off. Look how big it is. I love it. Dave takes care of it. He comes and trims off the dead lower branches when they fall down, and it's on a drip. But so I'm real happy with it, but it looks absolutely amazing. And it's on the drip line, so it gets watered every day. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a Mexican fan palm, and I don't even remember where I got it. I think I got it from my grandmother. But I have another one in the front that just seeded itself that is so close to this size already, and it's only been in the ground 3 or 4 years, I think. So they're definitely happier in the ground than in a pot. Can you hear my doves? Diamond doves in there. And they breed like rats. What am I looking for? Where's my other little hummingbird feeder, usually covered with birds. Yeah, so okay, now let's go out back. Okay, we're out here. Oh, hello my little Pippy, little pipsqueaky. Hi baby, your nose is very dirty. Boop. You're so cute. Oh my goodness, good girl. Hi chickens. Okay, so over here, looking at all my animals out in the field. It's quite a bit windier out back. I don't have the house blocking me, I guess. Everything's kind of covered with spider webs, and it's just that time of year. What's the matter, Louie? Got some sedum down in here. This little aloe thing, whatever that is. My euphorbia is doing good. It's got a string in there. What is that? Piece of grass or something? This did bloom earlier this year. It got little tiny yellow flowers all over. It's pretty cool. This is agave guadalajarana, and it used to have 2 small little what do you call them? Sansevierias in there. Not the big tall ones, the little bunchy ones, but they both died off. They didn't survive the winter. My tiger jaw is looking half dead. I just discovered you can kind of play with the exposure a little bit so it's not so bright. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But a lot of my trichocereus are looking yellow, and I think they're not getting enough water. And this one's looking really stressed. So I'm going to start, I just soaked them really good yesterday. I'm going to start watering everything twice a week because I do believe Brent, and all of these came from Brent Wiggin from Torch Cactus. Excuse me. I think he told me he waters like twice a week. Now these should be happy here because they get in the sun by about 1 o'clock, the hottest part of the day. The sun's behind the barn, so they're all in the shade. And they've been blooming like crazy. And look at, they're just producing all kinds of blooms. But here I saved something. That one's looking really stressed. Not good. I wanted to collect this fruit on here because I was hoping it would have seeds, which it looks like it does. But a bird or something got it and opened it and ate the whole inside. But you know what? That looks like it's full of seeds. So I'm going to set that there and come back out later and get it and see if I can harvest some seeds from it. Because although most of them, yeah, look at that. That one too. Most of them just dried up and fell off right after the flower was done. But some of them were pollinated. And I think we're going to give me some seeds. Hi, Miss Bella Boo. Pippin, you hanging? Hello, Bella. Hi, baby. Can I see your face? Look up here. Bella. Bella, Bella, look at me. Look. Boop. You're so cute. You're so cute. Okay. But a lot of them are still putting out buds. So we'll see how many of those open. Some of them just fall off. A lot of them just kind of shrivel up and fall off. But some of them actually are starting to develop. So that'll be exciting if I get more flowers. Another euphorbia. I'm sure the name's worn off. Yeah, name's worn off. Horrida is what that is. Right? Yeah. I think some people call it a snowball or snowflake, or maybe it's just really closely related to that, but I think it was called Horrida. So here is my big hectia, and it's doing great. And these other pups are massive, especially this one over on this side. So I think probably in the spring, I'm going to pull it out again and see if I can get those other 3 pups off of it. And look at this aloe. It's sitting on the ground now. It's still taller than me. I'm 5'7". That's probably, I don't know, a good 3 inches above my head. Yeah, it's... It's huge. The pot's falling apart too, so I got to be careful. But I still need to pull it out and chop it and reset it. I need to turn it so it starts growing the other direction, but it's doing really good. You guys are both just hanging out. Here, my Queen Victoria Reginae looks great. And then the King Ferdinand, which is clearly a bunch of little ones. Yeah. Which one is this? This is Heat Wave from Brent. I'm not sure if I've gotten a flower off of that one yet. Oh, there's a donkey. Jessie. Hi, Jessie. Hi, donkey. So, in case anybody's interested. So these are 2 stalls that are for the pigs, but they never come in here. They just sleep out by the back of the house, our 2 big outside pigs. But look at this chicken. Yeah. She's sitting on 1 egg. And I don't know how long she's been sitting on it because I had been collecting the eggs out of that stall every day. And then I was gone for a few days, and then I didn't notice her for, probably a week. And then I saw she was still sitting in there, so, oh my gosh, she's broody. And I look under there, there's an egg, so I can't take it away because it's probably half developed. Okay, so here is this agave. I'm not sure what this one is, but I like it. It's not an Americana, it's a smaller, I can tell by the leaves. It's a smaller version. Hi, Mr. Wilton. You coming to visit? So Wilton also, most of them have blown their coats. Wilton, you can see he's naked. He usually has he looks like a border collie normally. You been in the mud? You're all muddy. Look at the mud. What is that? You're just a mess. Hi, baby. My good boy. He looks like a border collie. He has like a big, long, bright white mohawk, but now he looks like a house hippo. She has really long hair. She loses all of her guard hair, but she keeps that soft undercoat that she has. That one lost all of her hair and just has really short guard hair. She never does have a thick coat. I know, I hear you, buddy. Okay, so these poor things are like just struggling to stay alive because of the mealy bugs. But, you know, this one too. I should have had these out of there and treated while they still looked great. These two little, I believe, oh, look at this clover in here too, man. I think these are rum runners. They look like it, that were given to me. Why do I keep saying, I don't usually do that. So another aloe vera, looks amazing. Look at that new growth. And then this little guy hanging on. And then here was another, oh, did this have a name on it? I bet it did, and it's all worn off. And I couldn't even get a hold of her. What I could do is go back and look at the original video, because I think, what was this? That one was Bad Hair Days. This one, Man of Steel. This was Agave. Oh, it's, you know what? I've been watering it. It's really stiffened up. It was really soft before. So it's happier now. Maybe, did this one have, maybe this one didn't have a name. Anyway, so my gutters are looking really rough. Everything is shrivelly. I did water really good yesterday. So this little aloe looks good. Some of the plants look good. Look at this is a tomentosa, panda plant. I got a little Cameronia. Still, a couple of them died. I put like 4 Cameronias in here. Here's another one, still alive. I think I pulled the dead ones out. Clearly that's dead. But yeah, everything is looking rough up in here, but I'll wait until fall to add more plants up in here. There's no point in doing it now. So yeah, that's what this is. All right, let's walk over and look at the greenhouse. 3 of them. Life is rough for a little piglet. All 3 of these were rescues. This one came from a shelter, skin and bones. That one came from a great home, but clearly she was going to be way too big. And then that one came from a good home. She was taken care of. She was 6 months old, but she was living in town in a backyard under a chicken coop next to a pool. So, yeah. Okay, back here is just weedy and overgrown. There's one of my gardens is over there. See all that? I got cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, and eggplants over there. We till up our neighbor's garden area for her and help her over there, and in exchange she lets me have another plot out there, and then she can just go pick whatever she wants out of there too. So anyway, I got some roses. I love the color of this one. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, it's like a coral. And then this one, they're all just starting to send off a whole nother flush of blooms. These are like a pink with yellow. Really pretty. My carnations are pretty much done for the season. I could leave them in here and they'll come back because they did last year, but I might just pull them all out and put some pretty flowers in for fall. Somebody pulling into my driveway? Nope. Why do people slow down right in front of your house and then they drive off? It's weird. Okay, this is, I believe, the same as the one on there, and I thought it was a different one, but look at the color. It's the same. So pretty. And then this, well, my little miniature one, this is my lavender one, and there's no open ones to show you how beautiful these are. But there are a bunch more blooms. I need to deadhead all this. I just did it a couple days ago. The more you do it, the more flowers you get, according to my grandmother. My rosemary, it smells good, super fragrant. I cut pieces off of that to cook all the time. Hopefully next year it got a little bit burned while I was gone because of those hot days. It probably didn't get enough water in here. So I still have these 2 pots. I'm going to take this one. This had the big attenuata in it. I'm going to put that black, what did I say it was called? Dark Night. That Opuntia Dark Night in this. And it can stay in there for a long time. And then I can let it get nice and big. It sounds like something's hitting the ceiling up here. And then I have a small, it's not small, it's probably a 12-inch pot for something else. So in here I have just these few things. I started a bunch of seedlings. I never planted them. I had so much stuff in the garden. These were vegetables. But I've got a couple of haworthias. There's one there. And then this one here. And I shade that a little. It's really pretty. Baby toes. And then this donkey tail, which bloomed this year. I was so excited because I've never had one of my donkey tails bloom before. And then there's a mother of thousands in there that I need to get out. That'll just take over. It's probably already left pieces on the ground. Oh, I have a few little scraggly things in here that I need to, I don't know, deal with, get out of here so I can use the pots for something else. A lot of broken pots from when my shelf fell over. So that's all that's in there. Right now it's just too hot to do anything in the greenhouse. So I had my herb garden. This is basil. What was that? That was quite loud. It was a bird of some sort. The basil smells so good. And I have English thyme down in here. Everything's bolted. This is oregano. Where are you? I hear you squeaking out here. I hear a really loud bird right over there, but I can't see it. I don't know what that is. I had some peppers. I grew these by seed, from seed. And they didn't get very big, though. Yeah. And then these tomatoes were given to me from somebody, a friend of mine. She had 4 extra ones. I just threw them in these pots. They're probably totally root bound. This was supposed to be a beefsteak, but they're just now finally starting to turn red. They just didn't get very big. What is that? It's a bird. It's not a rabbit or anything like that. It's got to be a bird. I can't see it. So under here, so I'm very excited about this. I think did I post a short about this flower on here? This poor plant, I just need to what I need to do in the fall, maybe cut it and reset it so it's not, I don't know. Another aloe. This is a coral aloe. I think the one out front was a ghost, or vice versa. I think this one's the ghost and that one out front was a coral. Another quiche con. That's ready to come out of this pot. And I think I mentioned it before. I think I was going to take this one out and put it in the bigger pot and put that one, which needs to be trimmed up, in there. But we'll see. I had just pulled all the weeds back here, and it's like not even 2-3 weeks later. And, well, it's got to have been longer than that because these are dry. I don't know. I guess time just goes by quicker than you think. My bananas are doing good. But look at all the weeds in here. Get all these out of there. Just cannot keep the weeds. Oh, there's another. That's a little banana starting. So I got the 2 shoots off the main one, which died. It was in the center here. And now I got a third one there. And clearly, I got another little one sprouting right there. That's fun. Yeah, look at that. Keeps going all... There we go. You can see that there. Fun. Okay, so over here, which way am I going? I have this amic in here and some aloe and some other little random stuff. I got some crassula. What is that? The Adolphia sedum. I don't know what this one is, but it blooms like crazy. And then my pachypodium is doing really good. This is my biggest one. I did lose one last year. But this that's got to be 14 inches tall. And then look how long the leaves are. This one is the gayei. And then these two, gosh, I can't remember. This one almost looks like a gayei too. So this one had kind of had an issue where the top died off. You can see right there. It rotted and then it sent up a new top. So that's kind of cool. And then this little one finally sent out some leaves. Uh-oh. What do you got? You better not have a bird. My cat is there chasing something. And then this is just not, it feels like it's rotting. Did I overwater it? I don't know, but I think it's rotting. My mint died. It's just too hot for mint this time of year. My epiphyllums are doing good, especially this one. I'm not getting any blooms on these that I've noticed, but I'll keep an eye on it. This one's looking really good. And they are under the shade cloth. So let me try not to bump my big flower because I don't want to knock it off. But yeah, that's what I do. I just pull it over the fence so then I can put some stuff that wants a little shade back in here. So that's it. Let's go see what this crazy cat is doing. You know, I knew I was going to run into this. I put a hummingbird feeder right here. That's Buttercup. And then I have a feeder out here, but I've never filled it up or hung it up. I should get some hummingbirds over in here. I don't think they go for roses, hummingbirds. They like the long trumpet kind of flowers. What a mess it is in there. It's just too hot to really do anything in here. I did spray for wasps, and I see another one just flew out of there. I had 2 big, huge wasp nests in there earlier this year. But anyway, that's it. That's kind of everything. We're being watched. Let's see if I can get out of here without, I have to step over. I don't have a gate here, but I have to have a fence there to keep the pigs out. Oh, and my grapes are doing really good too. Yeah, so that's everything. All the plants are just kind of hanging in there. We've been lucky and haven't had too much heat. And for the end of July, that's crazy. I mean, it's usually in the upper 90s. And then August is typically pretty hot, and September can be very hot. So, look at that. That's a weed. These are all weeds. So I'm hoping we have, I mean, clearly July is going to stay cool through the end of it. We've only had a few days where it was over 100, like 2 or 3 days, and then a couple of days around 98. So that was nice. And I guess I shouldn't complain, but it's really helped my plants. And then covering them probably made a big difference too. So yeah, that's about it. And if you're still watching, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'll give you a parting shot right here because this is so pretty. Look at that. And I'll see you next time.